Okay, thank you for listening. Welcome to the 386th episode of I Haven't Seen Blade. I am James Spencer, and I have never, ever, not once in my life, seen the movie Blade. Joining me, as always, is my co-host.
Hey, it's Jacob Moore, and I have seen Blade.
What?
Runner. But no, I've never seen the Wesley Snipes vampire epic Blade.
Oh, man, you really had me going there for a second. If this is your first time listening to the pod, that would have just been absolutely nutty and derailed everything, because this is a show where we discuss never having seen the movie Blade, whether we have any plans to see Blade or its sequels in the future or any other vampire movies, maybe.
It's just a good time.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that's interesting to me is that when Black Panther came out, everyone was so excited that there was finally a Marvel movie with a black lead. But a lot of people forget that Blade was a Marvel property, and even if it predates the MCU, I think it doesn't get the proper credit it deserves for social advancement.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. I couldn't agree more. And I think that it's just about time that people give their respect to this movie, which neither of us have seen. Not that I wouldn't personally, because I love action flicks from the 90s. I loved Wesley Snipes' hot streak back then from New Jack City, Demolition Man, which has always been a guilty pleasure for me. Tu Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar.
U.S. Marshals.
Yeah, U.S. Marshals, man. That guy had range. He was a serious actor.
It almost makes me want to take the time to see Blade.
Yeah, me too, kind of. We have a guest coming up later in the show, but first, it's the weekly tomato meter where we check on Rotten Tomatoes what percentage the movie Blade has with critics. Take it away, Jacob.
All right, I'm getting on Rotten Tomatoes now. I definitely had this pulled up already. I definitely am not typing it in right now.
It sounds like you're stalling.
But the connection's timing out.
Oh, yeah, like it does more than half the time, right? I mean, yeah, it's not like this is the first thing that we do during every episode.
All right, got it. For the 386th week in a row, Blade has maintained a 54% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
54. So, still officially rotten.
It's still above 50.
At this point, I'm thinking I don't know, if it's on TV and I don't really have anything better to do, I might give it a watch.
But it's rated R, and I mean, you wouldn't want to watch it on basic cable.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know. I said I like Demolition Man. That's got to be a 45 or something like that.
I'm actually looking at it right now. It is 61.
61, really? So that's still certifiably fresh.
Yeah, but we've talked about this before. I mean, it has a lower Metascore than Blade, but you have to look at both sites. Got to compare.
Yeah, but who can really trust critics these days? You know, they gave Black Panther a 96.
You didn't like Black Panther?
I don't know. I didn't see it. Okay, this is a part of the show that we like to call Things That Aren't Blade. These are things that we have done since the last show that had nothing to do with seeing the movie Blade. Maybe you went to a theme park or went to the mall, had a nice meal, saw a movie that wasn't Blade. Jacob, what did you do last week?
Not much. I recently moved into a new apartment, and I spent about 3 hours at the grocery store trying to fill up my fridge.
Yeah? How much you spending on rent?
Rent was about $500 a month right now.
Really? Where?
At my apartment.
Yeah, but what's the address?
I can't tell you my address.
I don't know.
I'm not going to say it on the podcast.
I don't think
People will find
we can track our listeners. I don't really think that we have any in this area.
I have people looking for me.
Okay.
So,
are you in the witness protection program?
I am.
What did you do?
I also finally heard the new Post Malone album. Have you heard that?
No, he's one of those face tat rappers, right?
Yeah, that's kind of his whole thing. It's really bad. The new album's really bad.
Yeah? Is he more of a Reverb Nation rapper or a MySpace music rapper?
Absolutely Reverb Nation. There's so much reverb on his voice. It's
old school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it sounds like there's 3 of them, but it's just one guy.
Oh, cool.
Which is kind of impressive. I mean, I was convinced for a while it was a band of 3 guys named Post Malone.
I think that's why autotune gets a bad rep, is because it can make you sound like different people.
Yeah.
And so, you're not just Charlie Chaplin all of a sudden. You're the Marx Brothers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you can do different things with your voice.
Yeah, because of autotune, did you know that, Cher is actually just Boz Scaggs.
That effect was not auto-tuned. That was a vocoder. You're clearly lying.
What did you do this week?
Oh, I went to the doctor, my cute, adorable little Vietnamese doctor, and she pulled something that looked like a tooth out from behind my shoulder. It was a cyst, and I'm like, this isn't the first cyst I've come here about. What can I do to not get cysts in the future? And she's just like, oh, you have really bad skin, so that sucks. And I don't know. They say that these can get up to the size of golf balls. Like, once you get to that certain size, they start comparing every kind of growth in size to some kind of sports ball. So,
Sure.
like, they do the same thing with hail, golf ball size hail, baseball size hail.
Yeah.
And then, but I think that's imperial. In metric, I think they use fruit. So they say like tangerine size, orange size, grapefruit size.
The oblong ones are the confusing ones, like eggplants,
Kiwis.
kiwis, yeah.
Yeah.
Pears.
Pears. Yeah.
They don't talk about that as much. They get kind of looked over.
Yeah, and they even have just like little intricate differences between sizes of apples. Like this is a Fuji, this is a Pink Lady, this is a Big Red Delicious. You know,
But it's crazy. They're still apples.
yeah, it's all just apples. Like, why do we need labels anymore? I thought we were past this.
We are.
All right, so that's it for things that aren't Blade. Okay, we've been keeping her waiting long enough. Making her 386th appearance on I Haven't Seen Blade. A good fan of the show, we have Kristen Korkowski.
I can't believe you guys are still doing this.
If you're not familiar with Kristen's work, she has seen Blade before.
That's right.
Have you seen it since the last time you were on the show? Do you have any new insights or angles to bring to the table?
Again, I haven't seen it in years.
How many years?
I don't know, like 10? You guys should just go see it. Like, it's just a movie. Take 2 hours out of your life and watch it.
But that would take a lot of planning.
Now, Kristen, I have a question.
Have I seen the sequels?
Yeah.
You ask me the same questions every week.
Blade 2 and Trinity.
Yes, I've seen them both. Blade 2 is alright. Trinity is like more of the same, but over the top.
It sounds to me like I would kind of be into Trinity.
Yeah. But you'd have to see the first two to watch that one.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
You really don't have to.
Technically, we could see Blade 2 and Trinity and still not have seen Blade.
Then we can still keep doing the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Why?
As always, I'd like to thank our guest, Kristen Korkowski. Kristen, are you going to stick around for the rest of the show?
You're recording in my house.
Rock on.
Okay, and this is a part of the show we like to call I Haven't Played Tetris. Now, as you know, both Jacob and I have never seen the movie Blade, but there are some cultural touchstones that I experienced as a child, and he didn't because he's a little younger than me. And one of those things is playing Tetris on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Ever since he started playing, he's been trying to beat my high score using a bunch of techniques that I've devised over the years through all of my years of playing this video game. Are you ready to give it a go, Jacob?
I've been practicing.
And I've been very generous with my instruction. What are we going to be sticking to this week? It's a little technique that I made up. Say it with me. Flat corner grouping. That's right. You want to weave a wide and low base with empty spaces at the end to drop your eyepieces. That's going to make you get 4 rows every single time. You're really going to rack up the points, okay? So are we ready to go?
Yeah, we're ready.
All right. No purple screen. Okay, and we're off. Now your first piece there, that is an LP, so you're going to want to put it on its side and put it in the right corner, and that doesn't sound like Tchaikovsky to me.
I picked Music 3. It helps me relax.
And I've told you that it's not Tetris without the Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy.
Dude, let him choose whatever music he wants.
Thank you.
Dude, what happened to FCG? Like, your grouping is shit.
When I play your way, there's nowhere to lay the flat pieces, and I just stack a bunch of hanging blocks from the S's and Z's.
Well, that's why you need to develop the dexterity to fill in those holes sideways with the T pieces.
I'm just trying to have fun now.
And you're trying to beat my high score by fucking knocking out a bunch of 1s and 2s like an amateur. This is embarrassing. I'm turning off the machine.
What the hell, man? Why do you always have to be like this?
You're the one having a hissy fit, all right? If you're not going to play the game right, then it's not good podcasting. What are you going to do next? See Blade?
I just might.
If I put the machine back on, are you going to play the game correctly?
No, forget it.
You would love to see Blade.
I can't believe you'd say that. Do you know how seriously I take this?
I know someone who died today.
That sucks.
I'm sorry. That's my shit, and it doesn't belong in here. It belongs out there, and I'm sorry for having an outburst like that. I appreciate you and what you do for the show. Why don't we hash this out next week?
Okay.
All right. Do you want to plug the live dates?
Sure. Come see I Haven't Seen Blade live. The first Friday of every month, we watch a movie that isn't Blade at Kristen's house. This month, we'll be watching La Vie en Rose. Tickets are still available. If you donate to our Patreon, you'll have access to weekly episodes of our bonus podcast, I Haven't Seen Blades of Glory.
All right. That's going to wrap things up for this episode. I'm James Spencer.
I'm Jacob Moore.
Reminding you to spay.
And neuter.
And circumcise your pets. All right. That's all.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
That's all, folks.
Oh.
Can we say that? Are we going to get sued?
We have to get the rights for that.
Okay.
We're
I
going to
don't
get...
think you can say that.
All right. Well, but Mel Blanc is dead.
What if we say it differently? So it's like, yep. That's the end, guys.
Or what if we just change the inflections like that's all, folks?
Yeah, it's the words are fine. It's the inflection that's the problem. So
Yeah.
that's all, folks.
Then it sounds like Captain Kirk. And
Well,
you could,
Can we
fix-
use Captain Kirk?
I don't think that Warner can really afford to be litigious anymore. I mean, they're getting their asses handed to them with all the failed DC franchises and
Do you think?
just in competition with Marvel. Like, they don't have much going on anymore.
I'm really excited for Kirk to join the Justice League.
Yeah.
It's going to be really cool.
I don't know.
Probably
I haven't
won't even
seen
go
it.
see that movie.
You won't go see that?
You probably won't.
Oh. Yeah, no. I'll definitely read about it, though. And I'll make my decision on if I like it or not based on other people having seen it.
That's a good time saver.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.